Yeah. It's all about the you. It's all about the you. You say it. It's all about the you. It's all about the you. It's all about the you. Oh, it's all about the you. It's all about.
Welcome in and happy Saturday, sports fans, Miami Hurricanes fans. Thanks for tuning in to the Voice of College Football's Miami Postgame Show. After that glorious loss to the juggernaut known as Duke, they managed to somehow dribble that ball up and down the whole field and make us look like absolute idiots once again, 45-21. Thank God we are now back to finding ourselves not even a nationally syndicated broadcast game. Thank God YouTube doesn't even care enough to take down the illegal streams, and I got to watch that absolute wonderful performance from the Miami Hurricanes. Joined here, I'm Traveling Fools, joined here by Hurricane Central and Slim Shady Canes. What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
Man, that FSU game's going to be a noon game.
Yeah, it'll probably be played at 9 in the morning, maybe.
Well, like you, I was watching the game on YouTube, and the guy broadcast, even he got tired of watching it, and he flipped it to another game.
Right, I saw that too. But all of a sudden, it was like, I don't even know the game, but yeah, it switched to something else. I was like TCU or something. I was like, oh yeah, even the guy illegally streaming the game on YouTube has now switched to another stream because we suck so bad.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I walked away. I came back in. I was like, what the hell? Where'd everybody go? But yeah, let's just say thanks to all these wonderful people. Who we got up in here? We got a whole lot of Canes fans. True Seminole even coming into taunt us. What's up, True Seminole? Ink Kane, Rob Fisher, Workforce Freebie, Tim, Danny Vallis, Mr. What is that? Mr. CEO, Tim Hero, EJ Rob. We got Tiger Cat coming in to say, hey, what's up, everybody? And thanks for tuning in. So, Hurricane Central, you got your window down?
What?
I said you got.
I'm just on the freeway.
Okay, yeah, it's very loud. But so tell us, you just left that wonderful game. What quarter did you leave in?
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter. Well, at least you made it that long.
I left after the touchdown that put them up 17. I just said, "Fuck this, man! I'm out of here. I'm not doing this."
So what was the fan vibes going on there at Hard Rock?
Well, to start the game, like we started out strong, fumble on the first drive, quick touchdown. We were moving well, and people were energetic. It said there was 57,000 people there. There wasn't 57,000 people there, but whatever. That doesn't matter. Like people were feeling good, but then the night and fumble happened, and I think that's just where the momentum switched, man. It just wasn't the same after that. And then TVD goes down. We had already fumbled 3 times by that point, I think. We were down 10. Offense slowed down. And then it picked up a little bit when Jake got the 2 quick touchdowns, but it was pretty quiet, man. Like, it was pretty quiet. People were just out of it. A lot of people left by halftime, and then even more people left by the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's quite the going into this season. I never would have thought that we would be sitting here right now after losing to Duke on a Saturday at 4:00. But
no, I did my preseason predictions, and for the Duke game, I thought we were going to put like 48-50 on them because that's what we did for 2 years in a row, and it's Duke. They don't improve much. But Mike Elko's got a good team running. They're 5-3 now. He's a first-year head coach. I don't think they have any 4-stars on their team yet. Everyone wants to talk about the blue chip ratio. We have so many 4-stars and 5-stars. Yeah, well, they're not doing anything, so who cares about the blue chip ratio?
Yeah,
you completely negate your blue chip ratio with 3 regimes in 5 years. I mean, I know people are tired of hearing it, but I'm going to continue to say it until I'm proved wrong. You're not going to get any better when you constantly hit the reset button. And we're seeing that.
Yeah, there is an obvious huge disconnect with our football team this year. There's no as of today. I know people like to say, "Oh, excuses, excuses, excuses." Yeah, there's no excuses for any of this nonsense. I mean, we should be able to go out there without a coach, talent wise, and beat Duke. but here we are. So
I mean, last year we had a dead man walking in Manny Diaz, and we beat him by almost 40. Like, it's just pathetic.
yeah, Tim, I do remember how juiced everybody was before the season, all the season ticket sales and hype. Hey, Slim, I wish we'd have waited. Going into the season, we were like, well, we better go on ahead and buy those Clemson tickets right now because down the road, these tickets are probably going to be way higher. I bet we could get them for $20 now.
No,
You might be right.
I looked the other day because I was like, man, maybe I might go to that Clemson game. I'm not going anymore. I'm not doing it. But I was looking at the tickets, and to sit right behind the Miami sideline, like 4 rows up, it's only like $120.
Yeah. Well, Slim, maybe what we can do is, since there'll probably it's Clemson, so there'll be a lot of people there, but maybe we can move down some rows or something.
Yeah, just work our way down since nobody's gonna be there.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it either way.
Oh, you and me both.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, you should still come on up, Alex. We're going to have a good time one way or another.
I've already given $500 for my season tickets, man. I don't need to give any more money for this bullshit.
Are they sending out like free T-shirts or something like that, or or are they all going to Haiti?
Man, forget a T-shirt. Give me some alcohol or something. Give me some free beer just because of the pain they're causing me.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah. It's pretty sad. So Slim, what you for the first time ever, Slim, you almost sound speechless.
Well, I mean, I think the game kind of explains itself. 8 turnovers.
Yeah, 8 turnovers is pretty bad.
I mean, Duke only had to drive the length of the field once.
Yeah. Again, man, it's just that constant shooting yourself in the foot. Like, we can't ever just come out there and execute. I can think of very few games in the past where we've actually been able to execute, like, fully from beginning to end, Like, the only ones that really come to mind are, like, 2017 Notre Dame or 2020 against FSU.
We had some pretty good execution last year, but it was everybody's second year in the playbook and the system. Everybody was familiar with it.
I mean, yeah, but, like, we were still in tight battles against, like, we only beat Georgia Tech by, like, 3 last year, and they put up 30 on us, and they were a 3-9 team. Like, I'm talking about stuff like that, where it's like, we come out, and it's like, I'm sorry, I know Duke is 4-3. I know they took North Carolina down to the wire, but they're not a talented football team, and they're not that great of a football team. Even though Riley Leonard, like, he's a good quarterback and all that stuff, but we should have come out there and beaten them 45-21. If you told me we beat Duke 45-21, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's about what I would expect from a Miami Hurricanes team playing the Duke Blue Devils. Like, I'm sorry, that's just the reality.
Yeah, there's no reason in the world why we should have lost that game, but.
Well, no, I mean, it's like I said, they lost for themselves. I mean, when you go out there and you turn the ball over 8 times, yeah, I mean, you can't expect, Alabama to overcome something like that against anybody. You just cannot turn the ball over 8 times and expect to win the ball game.
No, yeah, we had 5 turnovers, and like during the fourth quarter right before I left, and I looked up and I was like, man, we have 5 turnovers and we're only down 10. Like, we should be down by 30 right now with 5 turnovers. Like, this team isn't good.
I mean, that's a testament to the defense. I'll give them credit.
Oh, yeah, and it's like I don't want to say nothing too bad about the defense because it's like, what are you gonna do when you're working with a short field and you're starting on your own 40, your own 35, like your own 28? Like, I don't know where they started, but I'm just throwing the numbers out there. But that's around where they were, man.
The majority of them were inside the 25.
Yeah, man. It's just, I just don't understand.
Yeah, teaching TV. How did Schellenberger do in his first year at the U? 5-6. Jimmy Johnson 8-5. Let's not push the panic button yet. I threw away the panic button years and years ago.
Yeah, I don't have a panic button, and I mean he actually brings up a really good point. I mean Jimmy Johnson, you want to talk about underperforming? Jimmy Johnson took a team that won a national title and lost 5 games with it his first year.
I mean, I'm not in panic mode. I'm not in Fire Mario mode, but I'm just at the point where it's all of our losses we should have won. We should have beat A&M because we weren't able to score the football. Middle Tennessee State, we don't even need to get into that. That team we should beat 100 times out of 100. North Carolina shooting ourselves in the foot. Duke, costly turnovers. And even when we win, like last week against Virginia Tech, man, all those penalties. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird when I saw that because that was a problem the past couple of years that Mario really seemed to have had cleaned up. I mean, they haven't had many games this year where they had a bunch of penalties.
No, even this week it was just turnovers, but this week, like, their holding calls happened. I don't know how many penalties we had, but it wasn't to the point where I was sitting there being like, man, what the hell's wrong with this team? Why are we so undisciplined? And just like where the penalties were at the forefront of my mind. The only time a penalty would come up in my mind is like right after, like, oh crap, call. This play's coming back. But that's about it. This week it was decent, but there's still other stuff we need to clean up. Turnovers. Jalen Knighton, I'm sorry. What is going on with Jalen Knighton? In his last 4 games, he has 3 fumbles, and it's always at the worst times.
I don't know. Jalen Knighton has not been the same since that injury. I don't know what it is. And I was thinking about that watching the game.
Yeah. Another thing, James Williams, he's definitely not watching right now, but I'm just going to put this out there. James Williams, someone needs to talk to James Williams because this dude, how can you be a D1 Power 5 5-star safety and you can't tackle? Every play you're going in, dropping your shoulder, wanting to go for a big hit. Wrap up, bro. Wrap up. Please, like, every play you see someone bounce off the running back or the receiver, and you're like, who was that? You look, and it's number 0.
And DJ Ivy's out there cleaning up his messes.
Yeah. Like, I know we have our complaints about DJ Ivy, but we had a fumble to start the second half, and he's the one that forced it, and he recovered his own fumble. Like,
yeah,
I don't
Mike Williams makes a good point. Middle Tennessee State would beat Miami 9 out of 10 times. This team is awful. You're probably right, Mike.
This Miami, yeah, but if you were to just line up the 2 programs, not like this year, but just line up the 2 programs over the history of their existence and say Middle Tennessee State versus Miami. You got to pick Miami 100 out of 100 times, 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Like, and has Middle Tennessee State fucking Jesus.
I knew we could get Alex to vent.
God.
I knew if we stirred this pot long enough, we could make this happen.
I can't even speak words, man. Like, has Middle Tennessee State won a game since they've beaten us? Because that was the thing with FIU. FIU's won like 2 or 3 games since they beat us in 2019.
Yeah, I don't think they have, but so we've won more games since then. we actually managed to beat Virginia Tech. So I think we can dominate the state of Virginia. I think that should be our new goal for the season is to dominate the state of Virginia.
Virginia. Oh boy, they're shooting for. Now we have to line up against Old Dominion.
Right. So I'm sitting here looking at the schedule, and Slim, you see anything good going forward here, or? All
right, wait. Who we got left? We got Virginia at home, Georgia Tech on the road, Clemson on the road, and then Pitt. Those are the 5.
Well, Florida State can thump their chest all they want. They know as well as the rest of us that game's a pick 'em. It doesn't matter how bad either one of them are. It doesn't matter how good either one of them are. I've seen equally bad Miami teams take exponentially better Florida State teams down to the wire. So that's still a very winnable game.
So what's the over under that we make a bowl?
I think it's pretty good, actually. I think they'll probably make a bowl. That might be right at 6-6.
Yeah, I don't see us going better than 6-6. I mean, I'm pretty confident we will. I say confident. I'm not confident at all, but I think we could probably pull off a win next week. But even Georgia Tech's going to be rough, I think.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know. I mean, Duke just outgunned us, so.
I would. Can you really say Duke outgunned us, though? I mean, that was one they killed themselves. Because you can plainly look at all the turnovers and see. I mean, literally, all of Duke's points except for 2 touchdowns
14
came off of Miami turnovers. All of them.
Honestly, this game should have been 45-21 Miami if you take away the turnovers, but we can't. We can't. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play that stupid game of, well, if this thing that went different, that didn't happen, then we would have won the game. Because, no, we lined it up, we played, and they beat us. They beat us.
What's up, John Bird? Thanks for stopping in. He says, "What's up? We suck." Yeah, that we do, my friend. Thanks for coming in and celebrating in this wonderful party with us here. Love the Hurricanes, but my God, we are horrible. Yeah, it seems to be our curse. Did we make like a bad deal with the devil to be Hurricanes fans, or like where did we go wrong?
It's all my teams, man. You know, like Heat lost last night, Panthers lost last night, Hurricanes today, and then now the Yankees are going to play, and I'm just like, yeah, we're going to go down 3-0 in the championship series. That's great.
So it's your fault, Alex.
Yes, it's my fault. Yes.
Okay, cool. Everybody shoot their blame over to Alex's Twitter page right about now.
I was born 3 days after the 2002 Fiesta Bowl, and then since then it's gone downhill. So I'm sorry. If you want to blame someone, blame me. I cursed Miami. That's on me.
If you'd have never came into this world, damn you, Alex.
Yeah.
Well, here's something you hear out of the fan base a lot. Can we finally put this baby to bed that Jay Garcia is so much better than Tyler Van Dyke?
Please.
Because I think we've proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's not.
Yeah. Like nothing against Jake, but he really only has someone said this that I was talking to. They were like, he threw the second pick and it's like, well, guess Jake only has a deep ball. Like he can really only throw the deep. That's about it. Or if like a receiver's wide open, because Jesus, man.
Oh, don't forget he had another pick overturned. I mean, he straight up threw it to the D-back.
He had 4.
Yeah, I mean, there's just all I can see watching the games. All I can see is that there's just a total disconnect and complete and utter breakdown of everything that they're trying to do.
Well, and I think it all starts up front, in my opinion. I mean, don't forget, last year we had, 4 seniors on the offensive line? And every one of them are gone?
Yeah, but a lot of guys are coming back. And I just remember in the offseason, a lot of people were like, man, we got a lot of experience returning on this offensive line. I was like, is that a good thing? This offensive line wasn't good last year.
Yeah, one thing I can't wait for is the offseason. I can't wait. I can't wait to be good again.
Bro, 20 years in a row, we're the offseason champs. We're going to add another banner this year. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, it's one of those, we know with Mario, the offensive line is going to get better going forward. We know that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the struggles in the run game are coming. That's where at least part of the struggles in the pass game are coming. I mean, the other problem in the pass game is the wide receivers themselves. I mean, you've got Colby Young who's stepping up. You've got, Mallory showed up for the first time in 3 weeks with that touchdown catch today. But I mean, really, that's all you had out of him.
Yeah.
Tim says that we are the UCF of the off season. That's about right. We're gonna have to start doing like them and ordering some national championships off Wish.com.
Put up a banner. Good.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and claim it. Like we were saying before we went into the show, we were actually going to just come on here and just pretend like we won, just for fun, and do the whole show as if the score was reversed. But we didn't think you and the audience would believe us. So
just cue the music again. We'll do that. Just go.
yeah, we can just start over. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Miami victory, 45 over Duke.
Yeah. 400 yards and 6 touchdowns in a win today.
Yeah, that's what happened. Slim didn't go out and troll anybody about TVD putting up 500 yards.
I didn't. I've been pretty busy, and I didn't get a chance to. That may actually be what happened. And look what happens. I don't do it, and he goes down, and he gets hurt. And I mean,
you better watch it now. You better watch it now, Slim. You're going to get accused of making excuses now.
I'm there at the game, and I'm sitting near like the Duke section, and like TVD goes down, and all the Duke fans literally just start like cheering and saying like, "Yeah, stay down, stay down, stay down," and they're like cheering for his injury. And I'm like, and you want to call Miami classless? You want to call Miami fans classless? And you're cheering because a player got injured?
Yeah, that sounds like some Tennessee type behavior right there.
Yeah, I just want to say that real quick because that rubbed me so hard the wrong way. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, I don't care if we're playing Florida State. If Jordan Travis goes down, I'm not going to be sitting there cheering.
No, I don't want to see anybody on any team get hurt.
No,
man. Because a lot of this stuff can be like life altering. Like there could be life altering injuries that happen, and it's just messed up.
And I didn't see were we still stuck with the third string center, or did the backup was he able? I don't think he was able to come back in
on crutches down the sideline.
Yeah.
So Mr. CEO has a question here. He wants to know you guys' honest opinion on Josh Gaddis.
All right. So watching Josh Gaddis, I said this to someone earlier during the game. There's plays where you watch Josh Gaddis and stuff he draws up, and you're like, oh man, that's why he won the Broyles. And then there's other things where you're watching him and you're just like, did this dude get all of his plays off of like NCAA 14 or Madden? Like, what the hell was that? What did he just call?
What about you, Slim?
The only real complaint I have out of him, and I continue to have out of him, is just personnel decisions sometimes. I still don't understand, why you're trying to run Parrish up the gut, or Jalen Knighton for that matter.
Why are we running Jalen Knighton at all? He keeps.
Well, I don't have a problem running Jalen, and I think he's in a funk, and you can name 100 players that get into one and come out of it. So I'm not going to say too much about that, but like I said, some personnel decisions is really my only gripe with him. I mean, there's plenty of plays where if somebody will catch the ball, if somebody will attempt to keep going and break a tackle instead of just falling down immediately, because there's a whole lot of that too. I for the life of me, and I've spent years trying to figure this one out. I mean, you see teams with equivalent talent at the wide receiver position, and these guys will break a tackle, these guys will shed a tackler and keep going, and yet everybody we've got will just fall down in the slightest breeze.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I
it's hard to judge when the players don't execute the call. I don't know. It's a disconnect. Like I said, I mean, if you can make the best calls in the world, if the players can't execute them, then it's never going to work. And at the same time, why are you making calls that your players can't execute? So, I mean, where does the blame fall?
One that was execution, the Jalen Knighton fumble where he just runs straight into his blocker. That one's execution. But then there's other plays like it's 2nd and 9. Jake Garcia's in the game, and we do a read option with Jake Garcia. Why?
Right. Nah, none of it makes sense.
Well, Jake Garcia
John,
is the kind of guy that you want to do a read option with because you have the ability for him to hand it off or throw it or tuck it himself.
No, but there wasn't a throwing. This was a straight running read option. Like he was either going to hand it off or run it. And I'm sorry, he was just he's slow. He's slow. Like I was watching him run, and I was like, this dude probably runs like a 6'2" 40. Like that's
I'm not seeing that. I'm with you. I'm not seeing that outstanding running ability that was so touted about Jake Garcia.
Yeah, like okay, if Ja'Cory Brown is the quarterback in 2 years, run read options with him. That's fine. He's a dual threat quarterback. That is what he does. But this is Jake Garcia, a guy who's a pocket passing gunslinger. Why are we running the ball with him? Same thing as when we played Texas A&M. It's like 2nd down inside the 20-yard line, and we're running a quarterback run with Tyler Van Dyke. Why? That is not the player you should be running with.
Hey, John Bird, thanks as always for your support. $5 super chat there. Thank you very much, man. He says, I love your show. I'm 41 and have lived in West Virginia. Been a Hurricanes fan forever and will always be, but holy cow, we are horrible. Cheers to that, John. Thanks very much, man. I guess we're all stuck being Hurricanes fans forever, but yeah, we are extremely horrible. So what's the Alex? What's the next game you'll be attending in 2 weeks?
November 5th against Trailer Hassan.
There you go. That should be it. That one there. You say you don't even know if you want to go, but I would say that's probably actually going to be a really fun game.
No, yeah, I'm still gonna go. Rivalry game versus FSU, but I'm not expecting a win. Like Jordan Travis has actually been playing like decently this season. They've been able to compete against some good teams that would just smack us around. Like, yeah,
I wouldn't say they've really competed against teams that would smack us around. I mean, that final score of that Clemson FSU game.
Oh no, yeah, but
does not show how dominant Clemson was in that game. I mean, they took their foot off their throat.
Yeah, but they were still able there to compete with Wake Forest. NC State still had Devin Leary at the time, which we beat them last year. But I think if we line it up against NC State this year, we don't beat them.
Let's see. Let's check out some of what the chat's saying. Yeah, James. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in Kevin Steele as well.
Well, in what regard? I mean, I'm really not. The defense has really been the best part of the team so far this year.
Yeah, I would. You're right there. I don't know. Everything. I have trouble looking at it and not being disappointed in everybody. just being honest. I don't know. Yeah, the defense has played way better than the offense, obviously.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think Gaddis is the problem. I think it's talent not playing up to the level that they should, and then I mean that offensive line is killing this offense. It really is. They're that bad. I mean, as much as we complained about them there's a visible difference between last year's offensive line loaded with seniors and this year's, and it doesn't help all the injuries. Zion hurt, down to our third string center. That kind of stuff doesn't help.
That's funny, Tony.
Yeah, and just also the disappearance of the run game. We had a few nice runs today. The run game looked better than it had the last 3 weeks. But still, at the beginning of the year, we were talking about how, okay, we can run the ball really well, but we can't pass it. And then we found the ability to pass the ball really well, and then now we can't run it. It's just, why can't we ever just have a complete side of the ball?
Well, that kind of inconsistent play is, pride and parcel of, a new staff and a new system.
Yeah, I mean, you keep saying it, and everyone's probably sick of hearing it, but yeah, it is.
I mean,
it's reality.
It is. Nobody wants to hear it, and I brought this up on one of our previous shows after a game. I said it the day that they announced. I can't remember who went live, but I said it the day they announced they were hiring Mario. I said they're going to go 6-6, and I ended up changing my mind on it. But the reason I said that, I mean, just look back through college football over the last 20 years. Anywhere you go, and Miami's no exception. The first year you have a new coach there, they have a worse record than they did the year before. It's just what tends to happen. And, I thought they had put a good enough staff together to kind of overcome that. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah. We looked at all right. Bethune-Cookman, Middle Tennessee State, those are games where it's just a guaranteed win. No way we're going to lose those games. We lost. I can't look at it as a guarantee. I can't look at the rest of the season as a guarantee.
Yeah, you're going in and out, Alex, but I think
yeah,
even getting
it. That was me or not.
no, but even just only getting every other word that he was saying, I know I completely agree. I still managed to get the gist of it. Yeah, you look at those games at the beginning of the season, you looked and said, okay, that's a W, that's a W, that's a W, that's a W. Now let's talk about these four that may or may not be W's. And now we're sitting here at 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon wondering if we'll even make a bowl.
Yeah.
And, we talked about it at the beginning, but I really have my doubts.
I've only seen them not make a bowl, 2 times in the last 20 years. So, I mean, I don't think they're that level of bad.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule again here. I mean, I think we'll win next week against Virginia. I think Florida State's a coin toss, and that leaves. Yeah, I mean, we could possibly win the next 3, or I don't know. I look at it, I could see us losing every one of these games.
Yeah.
Well, more than likely, Virginia and Georgia Tech are wins. As much as injuries are affecting us, they're hitting Pitt even worse. So say we win that, lose Clemson. I mean, 6-6, 7-5, somewhere right in there.
Yeah, well, we've been for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I think the last. What was the last good season we had? Would that have been under Mark Richt?
2017. 2017, the year we beat Notre Dame 41-8.
Right, we went what 10-2 that year.
We finished. We had a
the regular season was 10-1. That Arkansas State game got canceled.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 10-1. Yeah, should have been 10-2, but Yeah, that's been a while, and everybody wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, and then even that season, there were so many times we played a North Carolina team that only won like 3 games, and we had to come back against them. Georgia Tech, we had to kick a game-winning field goal. They're not a good team. Virginia was beating us by 14. And like even then, it wasn't like we were this great world beating team. The only time
Well, you were definitely able to see the deficiencies in the team offensively then. I mean, say what you want about Van Dyke or hell, even Garcia. Both of them are better than Malik Rozier.
yeah.
I mean, that was the big thing holding, and that was just. I mean, he had no choice but to play Rozier. Rozier was the best option we really had.
Honestly, I don't want to live in the past. What happens with that season if Brad Kaya comes back? Because that was the year he left early for the NFL.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, there ain't no telling. I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, Brad Kaya got out because he had to. Brad Kaya had been sacked almost 150 times by that point. I mean, they were putting up 40+ sacks a year on him. So
wasn't speaking of, wasn't Brad Kaya his mom? Was she was that played in that movie Friday, right?
yeah, his mama was Felicia.
Yeah, Felicia. That's pretty funny.
No, I think this season's just kind of proven itself. We're gonna have to grit our teeth and bear through it, and wait on an influx of other talent, because I think some of it. I don't think it's all just a talent thing like a lot of people are saying. I've brought up before that there's more talent on this team than what you hear a lot of the fan base say. But I do think that there's a culture change that's going to happen, and it's not going to happen in one off season. And some of it's only going to happen by getting guys out of there and getting new guys in.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have buy-in from your players, because guess what? Like the talent's great, but if you're coming in as a new coaching staff and you have 15, 20 guys not buying in, and maybe like 75% of them are starters, that could affect the team, man. That does affect the team.
And going forward, the main reason I'm not having any concern going forward is because look at Florida State. They're on a 3-game skid. They've got guys decommitting. Look at Florida. They're playing like absolute garbage. They're having guys decommitting. Nobody has decommitted from Miami.
Because that's what Martin's strength is. That's what we knew we were getting when he came in. The guy that took a 4-8 Oregon team, and 2019 he had him winning the Rose Bowl and the Pac-12 championship. Because they're buying into that, and because I'm sorry, like Mike Norvell, outside of taking Memphis to a New Year's Six game, hasn't done anything at Florida State. There's nothing he can point back to.
Well, and I had this concern about Norvell when he was hired, because I live right outside of Memphis. Norvell inherited what Justin Fuente built at Memphis. And, to his credit, he didn't run it in the ground, but he didn't build it. And I think, I think Norvell's doing a decent enough job. Florida State's definitely in a better position than they were in when he took over.
Yeah.
But that was one of my biggest questions about Norvell when he came in there.
Yeah, but what I was trying to get at is these guys, like, things go wrong for them, and the recruits is like, all right, there's nothing they can really point back to. But Mario, it's like, hey, I'm year one. This is a new team. We went 7-5 last year. We have certain deficiencies at this team. You've seen what I can do in the past. I've beaten Ohio State in Columbus. I've gone to the Pac-12 championship, won it. I've won the Rose Bowl. I've taken a team that was bad and made them into a team that a lot of people would say could have gone to the playoff.
It was a game shy of it. Yeah. And it's like it's like I said earlier in the season, like after the A&M game. A lot of people were looking around. We're not going to get any recruits. How's he going to get anybody to come here? And we're playing like this. I'm like, the recruiting pitches itself. Offensive linemen can look, hey, I can come in here and play and make this better. Wide receivers can look, oh, I can come in here and catch more balls than this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and then with his ability, I'm not worried about the team going forward. Was I hoping for better this year? Absolutely. But I think it's one of those things, like you heard about Florida State and the reason Norvell was being given more time. I think there was more turmoil behind the scenes than what people realized. And even with and I think they actually made it worse by firing Manny, to be honest with you. That team, despite what the fan base thinks of him, the team rallied around him and won 5 of their last 6. So you had a lot of upset players over that.
Yeah, I do believe we probably would have had a better season this year with Manny Diaz. Now I think in 3 years from now we'll have a better season with Mario than we would have with Manny.
I agree with that.
I mean, recruiting isn't an issue for this year, but let's say this was year 3, year 4 of Mario, and we have stuff like this happening, then that's when you would get decommitments. That's when you would get players being like, I'm not trying to buy in. Because that's what happened with Manny. Manny, year 1 goes 6-7. He gets a top 15 recruiting class. Goes 8-3. His second year gets a top 15 recruiting class. By year 3, everyone's looking at him. 2-4. No one wants to go to Miami. No one wanted to come here because they were like, dude, it's year 3 and your team is this bad. Your team is underperforming this much when it was expected to be a 9-3, 10-2 team and go and battle North Carolina for the Coastal.
Well, and I think that's part of the unrealistic expectations that get put on people. Why would anybody think that Manny's 3rd year ever as a head coach? Nobody put those kind of expectations on Mario his 3rd year as a head coach, or really anybody else at their 3rd year as a head coach. He's still learning how to be a head coach at that point.
Yeah, I'm kind of assuming. I'm kind of assuming there must be, especially with the upperclassmen, that there's a real just that they're not jiving with they haven't bought into what Mario is doing.
I mean, yeah, think about it. You're with Manny Diaz for 3 years as a head coach, 6 years as a defensive coordinator. A lot of these guys have been here since 2018 because of the COVID rule that gave them an extra year to play. And you're used to this lackadaisical, chill, don't really care during practice. And then now you got this guy coming in that's like, wait, he's not going to let us chill. He's not going to let us just do whatever the hell we want.
Yep.
He's going to actually make us like work. I don't want to do this.
Because that actually goes into the very problem that I had with Manny as a head coach. And that's the difference between the two of them. Mario's going to be your head coach. Manny was trying to be your friend.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario's going to make you clean your room.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's almost a lot like, your dad can't be your best friend. It's got to be your dad.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, you can't have a coach being just a militant asshole because players aren't going to respond to that either. Because look, Jimmy Johnson, we've all seen the U documentary he ran, a tight ship, all this stuff. He was hard, he was strict, and he held his players up to a standard. But you also heard a lot of those players being like, there for me when I needed, like if I needed to talk to someone, I could go to Jimmy. Jimmy would give me advice.
Well, I'm absolutely certain that Mario's the same way.
Yeah, I'm not saying Mario's a militant asshole, but I'm just saying there's another extreme to that too, where you can get a coach that is just like, yo, I don't like this guy. He's just not like a good person. Like, doesn't treat us right.
Well, I mean, I think the only argument to that would be Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Because if anybody that comes to my mind as being like a militant asshole, it would probably be Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And he seems to get it done year after year.
Yeah, but then again, this kind of goes back to the recruiting thing, something that I was going to say. You know, when you're year one and your team's underperforming expectations, you can say, hey, we need you. Look at all these deficiencies we have. But then you look at Nick Saban and how he recruits is, yeah, we're stacked, and you're not going to get really a lot of playing time as a freshman, maybe not even as a sophomore. But you're going to come in as a junior, senior, and you're going to go day one, day two into the NFL draft because I've got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy just within the last 2 years that they went first and second round. But guess what? That takes time.
It does. And you know, Nick Saban was able to get that machine rolling by year 3. And, I mean, some say...
Year 2, he was in the SEC championship game and in a BCS bowl.
Yeah, he lost that BCS bowl and lost that SEC championship game, and it really wasn't even all that competitive, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but still, going from 7-6, 7, whatever he went year 1 in Alabama, to now you go 11-1, and you're in the SEC championship game playing Tim Tebow and the Florida Gators, and then you're in the Sugar Bowl or whatever bowl they went to. That's still a huge.
It was the Sugar Bowl. They lost it to Utah, and that was before Utah was in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
But honestly, yeah, I mean, either way, my point is, it really he had it going by year 3. Should we even expect Mario to have it going by year 3? Because, you know, Nick Saban's in the argument for greatest coach of all time. Certainly, you know, one of the greatest coaches of my lifetime. So why would we even expect Mario to have anything going year 3?
Yeah, I mean, if this is the path we go down where it's all right, this year we finished 6-6, right? Let's just say 6-6. That's how we finish. We split these last 6 games, and then next year we're 8-4. Maybe best case scenario 9-3. Really good year, 9-3. Year 3 we're 9-3, 10-2. Like if every year it's a steady incline program building, and by year 5, that's when we're like finally in the playoff. Finally, I know people don't want to hear that, but that's normally how these things go. It's very rare that you get a Nick Saban that by year 3 he has a Heisman winning running back with Julio Jones at wide receiver, and he's winning the national championship, or Urban Meyer going 12-0 in his first.
Hey, Slim, our favorite little sister's in the house, and he, True Seminole, he thinks that Miami could realistically drop 5 more games, but I think he's delusional as always, because there's no way that on November 5th we're gonna let him come into Hard Rock and win. So,
well, I also told him that they were guaranteed at least 3 losses in a row, and he told me I was nuts. And we saw how that one turned out.
What's up, True Seminole? Thanks for coming in, my friend.
Who does Florida State play today?
I'm not sure. Let's see. We could check that out. I don't really keep up with them much. I think they're on a bye this week, actually.
Oh yeah, because they played week 0. They got 2 byes.
Right. Yeah, so they get a bye, and then they play Georgia Tech, and then they play us. So I mean, Georgia Tech's going to beat them up so bad, I think, that by the time they come to play us, they're just going to be wore out. It'll be game over for the Seminoles.
Georgia Tech.
Oh, they're already depressed.
I saw a tweet from a Seminole fan where it was like, yo, if Florida State loses to Miami, fire Mike Norvell.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it should be. I think my game prediction on Florida State is that we win in triple overtime, 3-0.
3-0.
That would be my game prediction. So if you're the betting kind of person,
They go wide right a couple times.
right, exactly. After a wide left, wide right, yeah, we finally make ours. Yeah, we got this. So Slim, I really am looking forward to going to the Clemson game, though.
Oh, I still am too.
I think that's going to be fun.
By their performance, I mean, Clemson does not look like this unbeatable juggernaut team. I mean, look at them today.
No, the fruit almost took them down.
Yeah.
Now, still the question is, Slim, are we going to see the Nacho Libre Miami costume or not?
There's a possibility.
The suspense is killing me,
There's a possibility.
Save it for the game. Join on the live stream as Nacho Libre.
That would be fun. Hey, speaking of, don't forget to get up with me, Alex, because we're not going to be here that week. So I gotta talk to you about how you're going to take control of this. All right.
All right. Yeah.
And I don't know, Slim. We might be able to, depending on the service, we might be able to come on live post game.
There's a possibility.
Yeah, especially if we win. If we win, I think I could say the possibility is way higher.
Adam, the sports guy, brings up. This is something I hear a lot, and I'm not sure what one has to do with the other. Trying to put injuries on the strength and conditioning coach. I mean, I've heard that out of a lot of people over the years, and I've never understood what one has to do with the other. I don't get it. I mean, because sure, you can have the biggest biceps in the room. Joints are still a weak point. And if you roll your ankle or tweak a knee, what does strength and conditioning have to do with that?
Well, I mean, I guess
unpredictable thing, man. Like you can't. Like there is.
But I will say, the harder you work,
but
the harder you work, and the more tired you are, and the more you do become more injury prone. I mean, that is a fact.
Well, I get that, but I mean, okay, look at Van Dyke today. He had a linebacker and an offensive lineman fall on him at the same time. What does that have to do with strength and conditioning? Him getting hurt.
Right. Now, injuries like that, that's just happening. But something as far as like a, strains or sprains or anything like that. I mean, I could see that going to being pushed too hard, but at the same, I mean, it's kind of a hypothetical argument. You really don't know. Either way, things can happen. I mean, one, you can say, yeah, you're building up more, so you're less likely to get hurt. But at the same time, you can say if you're fatigued all the time, then you're more likely to get hurt. So, it's all hypothetical.
I also think it's part of the fact that this team has never been worked like they're being worked right now. Not used to all of this work. Because like I said earlier, like Manny Diaz just kind of ran like a summer camp.
Right, and I'd agree with that. I think they were having more fun than practice.
Yeah, because you don't think Nick Saban works his team hard? You don't think at Ohio State Ryan Day does that? Dabo Sweeney does that? I mean,
well,
a team that talked about that all the time.
And I've been bringing this up for multiple years now, ever since the wide receiving room decided to snitch on themselves. I mean, once you get, well, not even just during the season, but even during the off season, coaches are only allowed so much time with the players. And where are these players putting in that work on their own to get better?
Yeah, they're obviously not.
Yep. I mean, we knew they weren't under Manny because, they come right out and said so.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did kind of. I forgot about that. They did kind of sell themselves out.
Who was that? It was a wide receiver, Mike Harley. That's who it was. Mike Harley said that in an interview, and it's like,
too. Tyreek Stevenson last year, he had a quote where he was like, "Yeah, we're not practicing as hard or practicing tackling or really much anything as much as we did back in Georgia."
there you go.
Like he said it.
So I mean, it. How much of this can you put on any coach? Period. Even Manny. Because regardless of how, because I mean, you have all kinds of coaches that run practices lighter or harder than others. I think a lot of it's got to do with they're only allowed, like during the season, during the week, they're only allowed 20 hours a week with the players. So if you're not out there putting in that work on your own, no, you're not going to get any better.
No, and I agree, and I don't think these, especially the upperclassmen there, and I guess really, I would go as far to say the entire team, really doesn't have the winning mentality. They don't know how to win. They don't want to win. They don't go out there and look like they actually want to, like they give a damn. They really don't look like they care at all.
Yeah, and like I said,
I wouldn't disagree with that.
That's that buy-in. You just get 15, 10 players not wanting to buy in, and a majority of them are starters. That affects the whole team.
And I could even understand it to an extent out of upperclassmen because there has been no continuity there. So they're looking at it like they're kind of stuck behind the 8 ball anyway.
Look at Will Mallory. He was here 2018, Mark Richt, then with Manny Diaz, and now Mario Cristobal. This is Will Mallory's 3rd head coach. God knows how many offensive coordinators he's had.
4.
Yeah.
Thank you, God.
At least 3 different tight end coaches.
Yeah, that's hard to imagine.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. All these, even when it comes down to position coaches, they all teach things differently. They all emphasize different things. So you're getting really a lopsided education.
Well, I mean, things are looking up, though. Like I said before, the off season is almost upon us. So only about 7 more weeks, and we can get our swagger back, guys.
Yeah, right. I could hop on NCAA 14, do my little dynasty where we're 10-time national champions, and I'll be happy with that. It'll be good.
Yeah, La Dolce Vita. we'll be back. We'll be back, living it up again. Oh, geez. Well, yeah. You guys got much more to say about this game?
Not really.
No, I think we about covered it all.
There's really just not that much to cover. It's like, okay, so what do we need to fix? Everything. What's
here's
wrong?
the thing. I think he was absolutely right. I think if you don't have 8 turnovers, the score's probably flipped.
Oh, for sure. But the turnovers were there.
You can't take them away.
Right.
This isn't a video game where you're losing by 21 and you're like, you know what? This isn't the reality I want. Let me just back out and restart this. I'm just not going to do this right now.
And, I think, what is that? James Scott brings up a good point. And actually, we've heard it out of Gaddis twice that, we're going to focus on what we're doing well. We're going to take out what we're not doing so well. I mean, what does that say about the players? I mean, at some point, there's and you really only see this out of Miami. There's such an emphasis on blaming the coaches for absolutely everything and not holding no players on the field accountable. Because at the end of the day, Josh Gaddis isn't out there catching the ball for you. Kevin Steele isn't making that tackle for you. And those are the kind of problems we're having.
Right. If the players can't do it, doesn't matter what kind of calls you play. If they don't do it, then if they can't execute the plays, then you got nothing.
I mean, just look at the North Carolina game. Drake May should have been picked off 5 times. You got a ball goes through to Corey Couch's hands. You got the 2 that he threw up and just said, screw it, they're out there somewhere.
What's up, Luke Walker? thanks for stopping by to troll us, my friend. we got look back to back our favorite troll friends, Luke and True Seminole. At least thanks for coming in, guys. Either way, I like a good troll.
Just be sure and hit the thumbs up button if you're going to troll.
Right. As long as you hit that thumbs up button, then troll away.
Am I back?
But yeah, you're back now.
Yeah, I had just gotten home and like the connection to like the Wi-Fi was going on, so it just like.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, I mean, in reality, you guys got anything else to say, or you ready to go watch some football and teach our sorrows how to swim?
No, I'm pretty much good. I got my little rant where I couldn't even say anything close to the English language out. So.
So you got any True Seminole? You got anything coming up you want to talk about? I guess we've missed your show the past couple weeks, but you bringing that back or what?
Oh, no, yeah, just last week I was getting ready for vacation and I had to do stuff for that, and then this week I was working late. But yeah, I'll go live this week for who are we playing at? Virginia. Yeah, I'll go live for that.
Yeah, maybe we can actually talk some smack about that one.
Oh, I'll talk smack about all of them. I don't care.
Oh, I'm still not done talking smack about the Clemson game, so
no,
we got to get ready for that one. Got to see Pigskin Pete get humiliated. But Slim, you got anything coming up or anything?
No major plans at the moment. No.
All right. Well, everybody do make sure you check out Hurricane Central and Slim Shady Canes on YouTube and subscribe to their channels. You never know what's going to come out from them. Alex, you still with us?
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, you guys got anything else to say or?
No, pretty much done. Covered everything.
Everybody's like, hell no. I just want this to be over.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, Slim, you got anything else for us? You good to go, man?
No, like I said, I think we pretty much covered it all.
All right. Well, I'm right there with you. It was fun, and it was fun. There's nobody I would rather come on here and talk about losing with than the two of you guys. So.
Oh, that just warms my little heart.
Just know I love you that much. And everybody that tuned in, thank you very much for taking your time to come in here and laugh with us or laugh at us, whichever way you want to look at it. Either way, I'm laughing with you. And thanks for tuning in. This was the Voice of College Football's Miami Postgame Show. We thank all y'all for being here. At the end of the day, I guess, go Miami. It's always good to rep the U. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We will see you next week right after the game, and we'll talk about how wonderful we are once again.